guys! Alright, so today is going to be my second part of my semester review of the ABA course that I'm taking at the University of Kent. So just a reminder, I'm taking Applied Behavioral Analysis Masters. I'm taking here at University of Kent. I'm a study abroad student, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so last time I made a review, it was when I was flying back to the States. Today's review is going to be when I'm halfway through my exams. So I have a couple more coming up, and I have like one more week of lessons in July, but I feel like it's still appropriate to make a review. So here we go. First things first, it's the exams and the assignments. So I think I talked about in my last video how like the assignments are a little bit hard to get used to just because they were a lot of writing. If you're coming from the States or anywhere else internationally, there's a lot of writing involved in this program, not a lot of testing. So it was really hard for me because I haven't written in like so many years, but you get to learn to write like really efficiently, succinctly, and professionally, and I think I really appreciated it like looking back. The assignments are pretty hard to understand when you're starting off, like you're not really sure like what they're trying to expect from you and like what they want you to do. But looking back at it now, the assignments are actually like pretty accurate in what you're going to be doing in real day life. So if you have questions, ask them, and like ask your teachers, ask your tutors and things like that, because this is what you're going to experience in like every day. Like, you know, I have to design an intervention plan, I have to design a functional assessment and things like that, and I'm actually really grateful that like we had those assignments and that I did relatively well. One thing I really liked about this course is that it really thoroughly prepares you. So like I said before, the assignments, they teach you how to do the things that you're supposed to do in the field, naturally. But the teaching is also very thorough, and you have recordings that you can watch again, so you always have something to look back on. And they always have room, like you always have room to ask questions, and you always have rooms to explore possible theories or possible scenarios and things like that. We did comment that they would be nice to have more examples and more function-based or like scenarios where we could try out the situation and we could play out what actually we should be doing, because a lot of it's theory-based. So hopefully they will be adding that to the newer course next semester. I don't know. So yeah, so hopefully they'll be doing that. But yeah, they're also really open to comments, suggestions. Like they always ask us like, is there anything we can improve or things like that. I'm student rep, so obviously I ask my peers what they would want, and then I bring it to my teachers, and I meet with them in their meetings, and I bring up concerns and things like that, or things that they really like. So they actually really learn, they actually really listen and consider. I think that was an issue for me because I was really upset with some of my markings on some of my grades, but they gave me the respect and the time to look over my marks and be like, we looked it over and I'm sorry, but I still think you deserve that grade, but your concerns were heard and your concerns were dealt with. And I think that's the most important part that most universities lack, and I'm really proud that University of Kent does, especially the Tiz Art Center. Shout out. One thing I did have an issue with though was that the teachers and tutors didn't necessarily teach you the basics of being an ABA tutor or being a person in ABA. I guess they assume that you already know how it is, but I found in the case of a lot of my classmates didn't. So it's just like things like mannerisms, way of speaking, things like that. So recently there's been a vocabulary change from autistic people to people with autism. And things like that is something really important to know because it takes the blame away from the person. And it's like, so like you're not like a certain type person, you're just a person with the disability, you know? It's like just like little things like that, but they aren't taught in the course, which I thought was kind of a little confusing, because it was like they taught you bigger concepts like reinforcement and procedures and implementation, but they didn't teach you the little things like when you're pairing with a kid, like do this or do that, or don't say no to a kid. Because if you say no to a child, it might enforce them to want to do it again more, or it might make them feel bad and hurt their self-esteem. So instead, you can always reword or rephrase things in a better way. Or they could teach you how to, just interaction skills and things like that, with how to work with parents, with how to work with kids. Things like that kind of get like missed, and I guess because they're smaller detail, and I guess it depends on each workplace. but it's still really important to know how to do it. So there's a unanimous, I don't know, like a clear way of how everyone's doing everything. Just because in my experience I've seen people who've done things that I necessarily don't agree with, and it's like I believe it's because they weren't trained in how to work with the child. And this master's program I think should definitely be addressing that too, because it seems that my classmates and I don't address children the same way, and we might be able to learn from each other, and that way we know what to expect from our coworkers and things like that. Finally, exams. Exams are hard. I hate them. Because I'm used to more multiple choice testing, like all over the place, but this is multiple choice and short answer. And when I say multiple choice and short answer, I mean really short answer with a few multiple choice. So make sure you know your things, because there's no way that you can like guess on the exams. And definitely know who your authors are, know who writes, who they reference, acronyms, dates. I don't know. I think it's kind of pointless, like the questions that they kind of asked us, but not up to me, and I just need my grade. Yeah. And the schedule for this year is really weird, so I still have classes in July, even though I don't know why. It's like, I finished in April. I finished classes in April, but I'm having May off, and then June I have a couple assignments and a test, and then in July, I just have July 2nd and July 5th, I just have 1 week of classes, and then I'm done. I don't know. The course dates aren't really clear, and we run on a very different schedule compared to all the other schools. Final remark, University of Kent was a great experience. I highly recommend the ABA program. They are changing it next year, so there's going to be no research methods per se. It's going to be intermixed with the actual course, so you learn what you need to learn. The teachers are amazing, professionals, and absolutely geniuses. My absolute favorite. They were really helpful with my dissertation too. They're still helpful with my dissertation. They're great with all my questions and my queries and my complaints, because I'm me and I have a lot, but they were able to help me like work through it and understand the reasoning, logic, and I really appreciate how much work and attention and love they give their students and this course. And I think that really shows in the quality of their teaching. So if you are debating on what ABA program to go to, definitely University of Kent.